We're gonna fade to stop. My guest is Lisa Cox. She is from the Forest Service. Say hello.
Hello.
I have to tell you what to do.
I'm here. I am
Say
present.
hello. Yeah, she was typing notes, but she told me I can't play "Burning Down the House."
Probably not.
Yeah,
Not the right.
not the
tone
right
there.
thing for conversations and
No.
stuff. Boy, it's bright in here. I put a light. It's like bright lights, big city. So, Lisa, what is happening in the Forest Service world?
So here on the Inyo National Forest, just some friendly reminders about fire restrictions. We did put out a press release recently that we will be starting our fall prescribed fire season soon, but not before we get the right weather window to do so.
Okay.
And that plays into why we're still in fire restrictions. So
Okay.
we're in stage 1 still. We are not looking to lift them anytime soon because our fuels or our vegetation in the forest is the driest it's been all year.
Right.
So, and they're continuing in that drying trend.
And
So,
people don't really understand, even though we've gotten just a little bit of snow, that is not enough to make a difference.
yeah, definitely not.
No.
No, we got that heat wave we had.
Oh my goodness.
And
It's
the
82
winds.
right now. What are you talking about? It still feels like a heat wave.
It's still nice and warm down
Yes.
here in Bishop, but that definitely continued that downward trend of drying, and we just went right back into
Right.
that drying trend where we were before. So that means you still cannot have a dispersed campfire, which
is a
means-
dispersed campfire?
That means if you're out camping on one of our Forest Service roads, like boondocking or
gotcha.
you can't have one on the ground like a rock ring.
What
that you
about a
build
propane
yourself.
one? Are you allowed to
You
do
can
that?
have that
Okay.
if your portable stove or fire pit has a fuel shut off valve,
Right.
or like has a mechanism to like turn it off. So if it tips over,
Mhm.
or there's a way to just immediately turn off
Mhm.
that fuel source.
Yeah, just be safe out there, people.
Yeah,
Probably
and
don't even
get
run
your
a fire.
California campfire permit.
Oh, well, there you go. Gotta get a permit. Okay.
Yes, gotta have your permit. Everybody who camps and has a campfire needs to have a California campfire permit.
And where do they get those?
Readyforwildfire.org.
Oh, dang. You're
Yeah.
like right on it today. What else do we have going?
So yeah, just a heads up that we're going to be doing burning soon, but not yet. So the smoke that you do see kind of lingering, I saw quite a bit of it, I think yesterday, or was it Sunday? I was coming down the grade and I saw quite a bit of smoke lingering in the valley, and that's all drifting over from other fires on the other side of the Sierra.
So it has nothing to do with you guys.
No,
Okay.
not us. So just be on the lookout for another announcement for prescribed burning.
Okay.
Nationally speaking, in wildland fire, we're at preparedness level 5 still.
Okay.
So just to
What does that
give
mean?
you, it means we are maxed out as far as firefighting resources being assigned to incidents. And so we have to really rely on our cooperators and our partners to help us with staffing. And so it's just something to keep in mind that nationally fires are still very active in
Okay.
other parts of the country. The Southern California Geographic Area Center, Communication Center, said that we're still at PL3, which is, we still have a lot of resources assigned, and we don't have a lot of staff because they're all being assigned to other fires in the country.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What else we got?
As far as hiring goes, so I know that there's been some news going around lately about what's going on with the Forest Service budget.
Okay.
So
News to me.
yes. So if you're wondering, the rumors are pretty much true in the fact that we are not going to have the same budget we had last year.
Okay.
Fiscal year 25 is looking very challenging.
Wow.
We are definitely planning how we are going to cover public services on our forest without having seasonal staff.
Wow.
So we are not able to hire temporary seasonal staff in anything.
Is that
So,
across the board for all parks?
pretty much the whole Forest Service.
Forest Service.
Not the Park
I
Service.
misspoke. Yeah, I meant Forest
Yeah,
Service.
so under Department of Agriculture, the
Mhm.
Forest Service sits. Department of Interior has Park Service, Fish and Wildlife Service, Bureau of Land Management. They have a different budget. They are too constrained, but they are still hiring, as
Okay.
far as I know, temporary positions. So I'm happy about that. But as far as the Forest Service goes, I just want to give everybody a heads up.
Does that affect campgrounds?
It will.
Okay.
It will
Does it
directly.
mean that there will be some closed possibly?
I don't know what it's going to look like.
Okay.
So it is too early to tell what is actually going to happen on the ground as
Okay.
far as like specifics. We have a concessionaire that runs most of our campgrounds now,
Mhm.
Vista Recreation.
Mhm.
That doesn't have to do with this because that's
Okay.
already a contract, it's already in place. So we don't know exactly how it's going to shake out on the ground, but I just wanted to let everybody know that the situation next year,
It's real.
and it's not looking great, and it's obviously going to lead. It's an obvious loss for us, and it is going to lead to impacts and visitor services.
Mm.
So we're going to have staff that are going to have to step in and do visitor services and recreation that is not a part of their normal job.
Wow.
So we may be looking at that.
Okay.
So
That's not the greatest of news, but
I know.
yeah.
So I will
hopefully it's
not be
short-lived.
here in January or December to do a hiring announcement for temps
Mhm.
because it won't be happening.
Okay.
But what the not great news, but it's good that we are still hiring in fire.
Okay.
So if you want a career in wildland fire, we're still hiring.
Okay.
And the next opening for phase, I think it's called phase 3 temp fire hire starts October 23rd.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that, and I'll be doing an announcement for fire hire soon.
Okay. We'll be obviously putting it up there for you. So.
Yes.
Awesome.
So yeah, just some bummer news there. So sorry to share that. But just know that we are being as creative as possible.
It's a reality that we have to
And
face.
we are leaning on our partners, and
Okay.
we appreciate our partners. You know, like the Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association, White
Mhm.
Bark Institute.
Mhm.
We have a lot of really great partners, and of course, other local agencies.
Will they
that
be able to
support us.
step up in like a volunteer type capacity into maybe possibly helping in those positions, or?
There's ways that we could potentially amplify our partners more
Okay.
in ways that we couldn't normally do in house. And so we could potentially give more capacity to our partners to do the things that we can't do,
Okay.
which is what we already kind of do
Yeah.
normally.
Just pushing it a little bit further.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
So that being said, we're working really well. I'm working really hard with my staff right now to spend this entire winter revamping our website and making sure it's really accurate.
Okay.
And we have to flip to a new platform next year. So I have a lot of work ahead of me, but I just want you to know that we are doing our absolute best to keep the website updated. So if you're looking for something to see if it's open or closed, check our website.
Okay. And that was again?
fs.usda.gov
Okay.
/Inyo.
Okay.
Yes.
What else we got going? Construction, I'm sure.
Yes. So we are finishing some deferred maintenance projects right now, and also some fuels reduction treatments. So the first of which, if you've been out near Inyo craters lately, you may notice that we've closed some roads. And you've probably also noticed the massive tree mortality in the area over there, which was a result of drought and beetle kill.
Oh,
So yeah, you get a really good view of it up on Mammoth Mountain.
I learned that from White Bark Institute that the dryness of one, you could have a wet year and that's great, but the dryness from the previous year has already allowed the beetle to do the damage.
Yeah, the beetles are native, but when you take away the tree's resilience, they
Yeah, they
can't
can't
fight
fight
off
it.
the
Yeah.
disease. So that was, years ago, and now we're dealing with removing all of the hazardous trees that are going to fall on people.
Okay.
So so the White Bark Institute is working with subcontractors to get in there and fell as many trees as possible during the fall months before winter comes. So just please be sure to respect, if you see pink tape, flagging tape across a road, there's a closure sign in the entrance to Inyo craters, that you just don't go in there because there could be heavy equipment felling trees.
And you don't want to be a fan.
Don't want to be in there at that time. So yeah, that's what's happening at Inyo craters.
Are we getting golden toilet seats at the restrooms?
If by white plastic,
I'm looking at the notes.
You mean no? As far as restroom renovations go, these are legacy. Well, they're a long time coming. I'll just say the restrooms. We had many restrooms replaced on the forest a couple years ago, and we are now finishing that project by making the majority of our restrooms handicap accessible, wheelchair accessible. So we're getting really close to finishing that. So you'll notice we have like at Convict Lake right now, they are finishing the second set of restrooms. So just please be sure to respect the restroom closures. And if you want to know which restrooms are closed on which days, you can go to our website or our Facebook page. I have the whole schedule listed right there.
And the Facebook is Inyo NF.
Yeah. That's right. Nice job. Nice job.
Thank you.
And then our last construction project of note is, well, it's not our project, but Ormat geothermal plant in Mammoth is doing some maintenance on their pipelines, and they have to dig up some roads and trails. So just be sure that if you're heading to Shady Rest Park to go mountain biking, hiking, whatever, just be sure to take heed of the road and trail closures out there. Because they will have heavy equipment as well. And I think that's only supposed to go until like the end of this month. It's a pretty short time window. So yeah.
Now, are you going to do that last one? Because I saw some of those on my way back yesterday.
Did you?
Wild horses.
Yeah. So wild horses. So first of all, thank you to everybody who submitted public comments to our environmental assessment project that we have in partnership with the Bureau of Land Management, who is the lead for the gathering operations. We are currently in the objection period. So that means if you submitted an objection to the project, they're able to evaluate. They're making their evaluations right now, the team is. So we'll find out more after that's done.
All right. Well, we always appreciate you coming in, and I'm going to just kind of let the people know out there that you let us a little over a month ago. Unfortunately, Hadley, my daughter, had some stuff, so it kind of put off the project. But next week we'll be releasing the behind the scenes of going down to Red's Meadows and what it's like actually building that road.
Yes, that was a really fun day.
It was really exciting.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to finally being able to show the public all of what we got to see behind the scenes.
Yes, me too. It's really exciting to see it all come together. It looks so good. It's so strong. Like, it looks so strong. The amount of water, diversion they're doing to make sure that road stays in place.
Have we gotten an update? And guys, you'll know more about this next week, I promise. But on the nails, where they're at. So
that's a good question.
So
I don't know if they're done with the soil nails yet.
So do me a favor, if you could make a call.
I have a call with them tomorrow.
Okay.
I will ask.
And then we will add that into the very end of the of the episode next week of where we're at on soil nails.
Okay.
And you guys will know what soil nails are next week when we premiere the Red's Meadows Unskippable News tour.
Yes. And they're still working hard at work, trying to finish that project as quick as they can. They're going to work into November, mid-November, if the weather permits.
So far, it looks like they can work till January. Hopefully it changes.
I know everybody wants to ski, but I also know everybody wants this project done. So we can stop keeping the road closed. We are going to do our absolute best to keep it as open as possible for the public next year.
Yeah, I know you guys are. You're doing it's difficult. It's a hard juggling act.
Hard thing to balance.
You do very well at it.
We'll get it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in. in.
Yes, thanks for having me.
And we're going to go to commercials and then maybe a little bit of music before the end of the hour. But thanks again, as always, to the Inyo National Forest for coming in and giving us an update. We did things a little different today.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully
Thanks,
they're going to
guys.
like it. Bye.
Bye.